Well, everyone, the day has finally come. There are big rumors going around about it, and that is the fact that Six Flags and Cedar Fair are officially in agreement for a merger deal. There are lots of pros, some cons to it, so I want to talk about all the details as far as this brand new partnership slash merger with Six Flags and Cedar Fair up next. But before that, welcome back. My name is Scott, and you're watching Exploring Attractions. And if you're new here, please subscribe down below with those bell notifications on. And if you enjoy this video at the end, please leave it a like because it helps out the channel a whole lot. As always, check out all of our social media content because we're going crazy with the social media content now. I'm really trying to get back more into like the Instagram game and short form content, so follow us down below. But yes, there are big rumors circulating of the fact of Six Flags and Cedar Fair potentially merging. And early in the morning, like I think it was like 5:30 in the morning, my buddy Drew from Parks Bros texted our group chat and said it's official. So what does that mean? Well, a lot of stuff comes to my head when this was announced. So first and foremost, let's get the details out of the way. They will operate under the Six Flags name, but there will be no name changes. You're not going to have Six Flags Knott's Berry Farm. You're not going to have stuff like that. It'll be the Six Flags company. However, there won't be any major name changes. Just instead of seeing Cedar Fair, you're going to see Six Flags for all the different theme parks. Now, that's not to say that there won't be any name changes. I'm sure that some of these smaller parks and medium-sized parks will get name changes, but places like Knott's Berry Farm, I don't think you'll see Six Flags Knott's Berry Farm. Nor do I think will there be any major changes to the attractions featured at these different theme parks, which of course comes down to branding and IPs and all of that, which we'll talk about a little bit later. The Cedar Fair CEO will be kind of leading the ship, which is a good thing because Cedar Fair really cares about guest experience. We've seen it with Knott's Berry Farm. We've seen it with a few other parks throughout the country. And then of course this merger will take place in the first half of 2024. So while yes, it is official, it won't actually take place until 2024. That's when all the revenue will start to play a big factor. All of the numbers and everything will start to play a big factor. But that's not to say that they aren't already discussing ideas for when this merger actually happens. So let's get into my thoughts about it now that we got rid of all the details and everything. I'm going to try to keep it a little bit on the more unbiased side of things and see it from different perspectives. So from a business standpoint, this is a really good idea for Six Flags and Cedar Fair to merge. It's going to generate revenue for both sides of the spectrum. You have Six Flags, which really packs a punch on thrill and adventure in places like Magic Mountain, where they have the record for the most coasters at a theme park, and you have all the adrenaline junkies. And then you have Cedar Fair, which also has all the families, and will also have the coaster enthusiasts and everything. They really have that guest experience package to where they're going to both collab, and they'll be able to generate even more money than they already are generating. I would really like to see Six Flags start to take on more of like a family-esque type of attraction. And that's not to say let's get rid of all their coasters and everything. I just think with the theming that Cedar Fair will offer, then I think they should really venture into more of that. Especially with parks that lack a little bit in theming, like Six Flags Magic Mountain, to where they just have the DC Universe area. And now with all the Cedar Fair parks, we could potentially see even bigger coasters and more thrilling coasters come to those Cedar parks. Across all the different Cedar Fair parks like Cedar Point, Knott's Berry Farm, Canada's Wonderland, there are plenty of thrilling attractions. But I wonder sometimes if Knott's and other places like that have been worried to pull the trigger on big coasters like a Giga Coaster that's been rumored for a while at Knott's Berry Farm. Now, obviously, they do have to jump over different hurdles like Montezuma's Revenge, getting the accelerator open, getting the Knott's Hotel done, but all that comes with more cash flow and more business generated to Cedar, so hopefully those projects are all completed by the end of 2024. And the big reason why I keep bringing up Knott's Berry Farm, and the reason why I will keep referencing it, is because that by far has to be the most revenue generating park in all that Cedar owns, or I guess now it would be Cedar and Six Flags. So yes, merging these two companies will bring in more of that cash flow, and hopefully they can finish on some projects that are left unfinished at the different Cedar parks, like Montezuma's, the hotel, accelerator, etc. And maybe that's why there has been a delay in them, is because they've been so busy with other stuff like getting this merger done and Knott Scary Farm's 50th anniversary, they haven't had time to focus on those projects. I really think that it's kind of like a 50-50 chance whether this is a big pro or a big con for them to go through with this. I feel like the people in charge, at least at the head of the table,
I am the table.
I feel like some of them don't realize that when you invest more money into the actual parks and you're looking for this guest experience, then you're going to generate more revenue. That's why large-scale theme parks like Disney and Universal succeed so much, because they invest so much into that guest experience and brand new projects. Whereas with the Six Flags parks, we haven't seen that in the recent years as much. I mean, sure, they're opening brand new coasters all over the place, but on top of that, other than theming and guest experience, what else is there? Where is the revenue coming in to make people want to come back? Like, I really want to experience that coaster again, but it's too hot outside and it's too hot to wait in line. Maybe if we build a covered queue, that'd be a little bit better. Just little things like that that I feel like are definitely missed with the guest experience side of things. Keep in mind, I love visiting Six Flags Magic Mountain. However, it definitely draws me away because of how hot it is and how lack of different AC spots there are, or lack of shaded area in that entire DC Universe area. That's where guest improvement can come into play, and that's where you're going to draw more foot traffic into your park, which are going to generate to sales and tickets, to sales and passes, to sales and food, merch, etc., etc. So while yes, they are going to profit more off of this and off this merger, I feel like, and I'm afraid that they aren't really focused on what's necessary, and that is guest experience. That's how they're going to get more money. Take, for example, Six Flags Fiesta Texas. They are very, very good at capitalizing on guest experience. Probably the very best out of all the Six Flags parks out there. They have theming in some of their attractions, theming throughout the entire park. There are plenty of shaded areas, although it is in Texas, so you're going to be hot regardless. And there's plenty to do for the whole family while not just having a bunch of giant coasters all over the place. I mean, they're even just now opening up with their Kid Flash coaster. I believe it's opening up in 2 days, which is something for the family and for the kids, and not just for coaster enthusiasts. That's what's going to get people back into your parks, that guest experience. Fright Fest is a big example. We saw an amazing Fright Fest event this year at Magic Mountain, and obviously the lines were extremely long for Saw and for The Conjuring. And while yes, you have IPs attached to those, it still shows a lot that Six Flags were able to generate that amount of people at their Fright Fest event. I mean, and these are people that don't typically visit Fright Fest. These are people that just visit places like Halloween Horror Nights and Knott Scary Farm. So already right there with haunt season, that should show that if you focus more on guest experience, that you're going to get more people there. Alright, the last thing I want to talk about is, of course, branding and IPs and everything, all that fun stuff. So will Cedar start to use the same branding and IP that Six Flags does? I don't know how the contracts work or everything, but will we see DC Universe at the different Cedar parks? Will we see name changes in the attractions? Will hang time change to Wonder Woman's Flight of Courage? What will happen? Will Snoopy make his way, and Snoopy and the Peanuts gang make his way to the Six Flags parks? That's a big question that honestly I don't have the answer to, because I'm sure someone with all the details and everything can tell me in the comments section how those contracts and rights work, but for me, I don't look too much into that. I just enjoy the parks. And that's why I see pros and cons of this deal. Like, I'm not swinging one side, I'm not swinging the other. I'm seeing it from both sides. But I want to know down below in the comments section, do you think that this is a good thing for the merge, or do you think that it's not such of a good thing? Let us know down below in the comments section and give us reasons why. Because yes, everyone could say, I don't like the idea, I like the idea, but I want to know why. Why do you guys think that down below? I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you look forward to the rest of the content coming out on this channel, and if you do, please subscribe with those bell notifications on and leave this video a like. But for today's video, my name is Scott. You've been watching Exploring Attractions. Positivity is key, and most importantly, remember to keep exploring. Peace out, everybody.